So Liverpool's 2026 was supposed to kick off with a bang. Instead, their big New Year's Day game ended in a really frustrating stalemate. Today, we're going to break down exactly what went wrong.
Okay, so picture this. It's January 1st at Anfield. The hope of a new year, a fresh start, but that all met the pretty harsh reality of a tough Premier League fight. Disjointed, lacking intensity, frustrating. Yeah, that was pretty much the unanimous verdict from the media on Liverpool's performance against Leeds United. Not exactly the start to the year you're hoping for, and it really points to a team that just couldn't find its groove.
And after 90 minutes of football, the scoreboard told the entire story, a big, fat 0-0. For a team with serious title ambitions, dropping points at home, especially against a newly promoted team, well, that is a tough pill to swallow. That reaction you heard from the Anfield faithful, the boos, that wasn't just about one result. Nope, that was the sound of a much bigger frustration building up. This felt like a golden opportunity to close the gap on their rivals, and it was an opportunity they completely wasted. But here's what's so wild. Just 24 hours earlier, the mood was completely different. The day before the match was actually filled with a lot of optimism. Yep, before all the whistles and the boos, there were some really good reasons to believe that Liverpool was about to get a huge win to kick off 2026.
I mean, think about it. The team was on a roll, riding a 7-game unbeaten streak in the league. You had the manager, Arne Slot, publicly focused on being tactically disciplined, and, to top it all off, they were getting a major creative force back in the midfield, with Dominic Szoboszlai returning. It felt like all the pieces were falling into place. And this was the key message from the manager. He clearly remembered that chaotic 3-3 draw they had with Leeds just a month before, and he was determined not to let that happen again. The plan was crystal clear. Control the game, be smart, and learn from your mistakes. So, with all that preparation, all that optimism, what on earth went wrong on the pitch? Well, let's dig into the tactics to see how Leeds managed to completely shut Liverpool down. The key to this entire match was Leeds' use of what's called a low block. Now, if you're not familiar with the term, it's basically parking the bus, but in a very organized and disciplined way. The whole idea is to stay super compact, get tons of bodies behind the ball, and make it incredibly difficult for the other team to find any space to operate it. And this was the tactical chess match right here. Liverpool had all of the ball, they just kept it, but Leeds, with their really disciplined 3-5-2 shape, they controlled the space that actually mattered. They just clogged up the middle of the field, forced Liverpool to play out wide, and totally nullified their attack.
This simple chart really tells the whole story, doesn't it? I mean, look at that possession bar, it's sky high. Liverpool absolutely dictated the flow of the game. But then you look at the shots on target. Just 3. That is the perfect picture of toothless domination. They had the ball, but they had absolutely no idea how to unlock the door. So we figured out what happened, but the bigger question is why? Why couldn't a team with Liverpool's quality break down this defense? Let's take a look at what the manager himself had to say about it. After the match, Arne Slot basically laid out his whole philosophy. He said, look, there are pretty much 3 ways to beat a compact, low-block defense like that. You either score from a set piece, you get a moment of absolute magic from one of your star players, or you catch him on the counterattack. The problem for Liverpool, Leeds completely shut down all 3 of those options. According to the manager, the biggest issue was just simple execution. Liverpool got forced wide again and again, and they were putting crosses into the box, but there just weren't enough red shirts in there to attack the ball. The strategy was one thing, the numbers and the conviction just weren't there. And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of why that individual brilliance was missing. Liverpool were without their 2 most dangerous goal threats, Mohamed Salah, who was away on international duty, and Alexander Isak, who's out with a long-term injury. Those are exactly the kind of guys who can produce a moment of magic to win you a tight game like this. All right, let's zoom out to the bigger picture and see how this one little 0-0 draw sends some pretty big ripples across Liverpool's entire season. Because believe me, it's about more than just 2 dropped points. Here is the number that is going to sting Liverpool fans the most: 12. After this draw, they now find themselves a dozen points behind the league leaders, Arsenal. That is a massive gap to try and close. Just looking at the table makes it even clearer. I mean, sure, Liverpool have managed to stay in 4th place, but that draw allowed the teams at the very top to just pull further and further away. In a title race, these are the games you simply have to win. No excuses. And this is a really key change in how people are seeing this team.
That unbeaten run, which is now at 8 games, doesn't really feel like a team building momentum anymore. Instead, it feels more like a team that's just trying to hang on, consolidating their position rather than actually pushing forward.
So naturally, when a team is struggling to score goals like this, everybody's attention immediately turns to the transfer market. With the January window now officially open, the big question becomes, will Liverpool actually bring in some reinforcements to fix this problem? And there are already signs of some activity. Reports on New Year's Eve were suggesting the club is on the verge of signing a young defender, Joel Ordóñez. Now, while he won't solve the goal-scoring issue, it does show that the club is actively looking to strengthen the squad for the rest of the season.
So this leaves us with one crucial question. This draw exposed a clear lack of a killer instinct, made even worse by those key players being out. So will a new signing be the key to unlocking these stubborn defenses, or does the answer have to come from somewhere inside the current squad? Liverpool needs to figure it out, and they need to figure it out fast.